Taxes are on sale. Hi, I'm Nate, and welcome to Stratum, the most powerful, versatile tax planning and projection system on the planet. Have you noticed where tax rates sit today relative to the majority of history? Look at this right here. From the post-World War II era on, taxes gradually increased all the way through the early 80s and then largely plummeted and settled into this pattern that has seen a gradual decline for the last 35 years. And today, we are at the lowest tax rates in the last 78 years. Now, what we're looking at right here is the effective rate. And some may squawk at that just a little bit because technically we don't pay taxes at the effective rate. We pay taxes at the marginal rate. So let me show you two things. First of all, here's the marginal rate. It tells the exact same story. We have the lowest rates in the last 78 years. Here's the other thing, and perhaps the more important thing to consider. Yes, we pay taxes at progressive marginal tax rates. And when doing analytics to determine what taxes might be paid, depending on what kind of strategic actions we take, the marginal rate is absolutely 100% unequivocally the right rate to use. However, when looking in the rear view mirror, the effective rate is a better representation of what tax we paid. And here's why. Consider, for example, that deductions, credits, personal exemptions, and all of the other things around the brackets shift over time. The marginal rate doesn't properly capture those. The effective rate does. So again, let me say it this way. If I want to know how much I have paid in tax, the effective rate is extremely effective. If I want to analyze how my tax bill might change in the future based on strategic actions that I can take with my finances, the effective rate is the wrong rate. That's an output, not an input. The effective rate tells what I paid, not what I might pay. The marginal rate is used to calculate impact, and then the effective rate can be calculated from that, not the other way around, which means when looking at historical tax rates, the most reasonable kind of normalized view of taxes is the effective tax rate. And we are in the lowest tax situation that we have been since the World War II. What are you going to do about it? Taxes are on sale. Let me show you what that means for us. If we look at, in this scenario, a fairly typical Roth IRA conversion, we can see that a conversion here is quite sound. $265,000 of nominal taxes saved. That really doesn't mean much. This number does. Our net present value taxes saved is $1,200. And while we do pay just a little bit more in IRMA surcharges, we're still coming out ahead. So not only is it financially, economically sound, it gives us the additional flexibility. This is a good thing to do. But here's the other consideration. Since taxes are on sale today, what will their price be in the future? Now, it's hard to say. Clearly, it's been trending down, and maybe that continues. Seems unlikely, but maybe that continues, in which case the tax picture is even better in the future. Or maybe we get a little bit of a regression to the mean and taxes go up. Let's represent a 5% across the board change in brackets to the positive in the year 2040 and see what that does to our analytics. Now our Roth IRA conversion is even more sound. And if we want to represent exactly what happened there, we can see it along with the delta. Check this out. Pretty cool. We watch our tax bracket, or tax rate, the marginal rate, go from 22% to 27% in the year 2040. And we can see what the effective rate of that becomes based on a marginal rate centered calculation. Taxes are on sale. Are you going to buy? Look, there's a whole lot more here. Stay tuned. Thanks for being here.